Mr. President, Mr. Secretary General, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. The 5th UN Conference of the Least Developed Countries takes place against the backdrop of multiple crises and global geopolitical challenges. We have witnessed cascading crises and no country has been spared. Although least developed countries are not responsible for those crises, they remain most vulnerable to external shocks. In addition to this, the COVID-19 pandemic still perseveres among us. This is not merely a health crisis. It causes serious disruption of economies, societies, and individuals everywhere, and in particular in the least developed countries. The combination of insecurities such as climate change, rising energy prices, food crisis, and ultimately many wars and conflicts have reversed progress in achieving sustainable development goals. This is particularly the case when it comes to poverty reduction, inclusive and equitable quality education, food security, and health. Without determined and coordinated action, the gap between developed high-income countries and least developed countries will indeed continue to widen, and will the number and percentage of the world's population living in the least developed countries. Its inhabitants so often have no choice but to leave their homes, not because they want to, but because they have to. Regarding the coordinated and truly global action, let me be clear. Its main precondition is solidarity. We must accept historical facts. We must take the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities seriously. Only then will effective, rule-based multilateralism become truly effective, and the results equitable. Excellencies, Slovenia firmly supports the belief that the ownership, leadership, and primary responsibility for development in least developed countries rests with the least developed countries themselves. At the same time, let me underscore that Slovenia, as a developed state, like other developed countries, carries great responsibility and is ready to contribute to building peaceful and resilient societies and assist in green transition. Climate justice is a prerogative that we all must internalize. Allow me to address one topic that is high on the agenda at this conference: science, technology, and innovation. Financing for development needs to be accompanied by technological innovation, expertise, and technical assistance. Slovenia's scientists have developed solutions that could be of wider interest: satellite imaging, remote sensing, and artificial intelligence tools. That being said, it is important to discuss science not only as an opportunity, but also as a challenge. Artificial intelligence, for example, is broadly used in production processes, global chains, logistics, and in our everyday tasks, such as searching in web browsers. However, if in the wrong hands, it may have damaging effects. We need to be aware of that, and we need to be prepared for that in the future. As pointed out in the Doha Programme of Action, private sector, civil society, and academia can make a valuable contribution to meet such challenges. Last but certainly not last, Slovenia is a strong advocate of human rights-based approaches to development. The principles of non-discrimination and inclusiveness are essential to delivering on our pledge to leave no one behind. I particularly welcome the commitments of the Doha Programme of Action to promote the equality and empowerment of women and girls. We reaffirmed that gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls and the full realization of their human rights are essential to achieving sustained, inclusive, and equitable economic growth and sustainable development for all of us. Excellencies, we all share one planet, only one planet that we do have. The Doha Program of Action sets out ambitious targets and commitments. Achieving them is our shared responsibility based on the principle of multilateralism, with the United Nations at the core of our combined endeavors. The success of the international community in addressing global challenges depends on the success of our weakest and most marginalized and hence vulnerable members. As we are gathered here in Doha, we must take a sincere pledge to work together and use all our resources and capacities to achieve our common goals. Thank you very much for your attention.
Please,